don't miss my baby. That's not to say he went missing and I decided not to go looking for him. What I mean is I have a toddler, and whenever someone shares a baby picture of their grown child on Instagram and writes, "I miss my baby," or a stranger asks, "Don't you miss the baby phase?" I smile politely, but I think, fuck no. Babies are a lot. They're unreasonable, uncompromising, needy, constantly crying divas. You cannot imagine how many times during the first year of my son's life I had to catch myself from thinking, God, you're being such a baby. One of the biggest problems with babies is how completely blindsided you are when you have them. You can babysit, read books, and take parenting classes, but it's like explaining to someone what a roller coaster feels like. Nothing adequately explains what weightlessness and a 60-mile-per-hour drop feels like. Furthermore, I'm convinced there's an industrial birthing complex working overtime to obscure the lurid details of motherhood to coax women into having babies. The coalition is comprised of the Heritage Foundation and Mormon moms who dance in beige on TikTok. So, for the uninitiated, here are some highlights from the beginning of motherhood. The great baby grift starts with pregnancy, which is a never-ending series of tiny science fiction horrors. First and foremost, a baby is basically a parasite. If you don't give it the calcium it needs to grow, it will take it from your bones and teeth, which naturally causes your bones and teeth to become more brittle and prone to chipping. Your first lesson in motherhood is, fuck your vanity. Throughout pregnancy, you will be oh so sore, but don't you dare take a bath. If you take a bath, you could literally soft boil your little tiny embryo. In addition to growing a whole human, your body creates a new organ to support the baby, a placenta. This makes your body bone tired. The same bones you need to safeguard from said fetus. It's a vicious cycle. During pregnancy, your body produces a hormone called relaxin that loosens your ligaments so that your hips are able to widen and, well, relax, making it so you can physically give birth. You might be thinking, okay, so my hips are a little looser, big deal. Well, it turns out relax is not site-specific, so all of your ligaments get looser, including the ones that hold in your teeth. I learned this from an article that offhandedly mentioned that while your teeth may start to feel loose, don't worry, all that will happen is you might lose a tooth. Excuse me, but you cannot tell me not to worry and then launch into the literal dream interpretation for anxiety. Pregnancy also makes your feet go up a size so none of your shoes fit, divide your abdominal wall so now your back hurts and forever have a pooch, gives you hemorrhoids, and now those Preparation H commercials make sense from childhood, causes incontinence, hence the trampoline aversions, and increases your chance of stroke. Babies, not carbon monoxide, are the real silent killers. When you finally give birth, your baby will have all the personality of a sack of potatoes covered in goo. Experts often refer to the first 3 months of a baby's life as the 4th trimester, because the baby is, and this is science speaking, not yet done cooking. Your para-baked baby spends the first 3 months of their life barely making eye contact with you while they demand nearly constant attention. You'll stay up for hours of at night acting like a dairy cow and keeping this incredibly frail goblin alive. They will, in turn, give you 0 positive reinforcement. Nary a smile or a laugh. Personally, as a performer, this is hard. Imagine giving it your all to a small crowd and bombing hard at 4 a.m. I know it's an amateur move to blame the audience, but I blame the audience. Baby will have a lot of doctor's appointments. In their first year, a healthy baby will have about 5 checkups. New mothers receive 1 assessment at 6 weeks. Well, they'll ask if you're bleeding excessively or if you're depressed and want to die. If you answer no to both, they tell you to go home and finally fuck that poor husband of yours. Won't someone think of the poor husbands? And start exercising again, you lazy bitch. And then, like Polly and Goodfellas, they gotta turn their back on you now. Forget your name, they've forgotten yours, as is everyone else's. From now on, you will be simply known as Mama. Now that you've given up your entire identity, you get to tackle the challenge of breastfeeding, which sucks, pun intended. It's terribly painful and doesn't come naturally as advertised. There's all this pressure to breastfeed, but when you get stressed out or they latch incorrectly or fall off your feeding schedule, you can develop mastitis. Mastitis is inflammation of your breast that causes pain to your chest and flu-like symptoms. It's just as fun as it sounds. On top of that, you have to wear special bras and shirts because your tits are always on call. Your nipples will be so sore and chapped, you will Google more than once, can nipples fall off? Your new utilitarian gazongas will leak at dinner and on the middle of a Zoom work call, and that's if you're lucky. If you're not, they'll get engorged, which means they get rock hard and painful, like blue balls for boobs. But back to the baby, that no smiling, no laughing little goblin. For the first 3 months of their life, a baby shouldn't go more than 3 hours without eating. A typical night sees you putting them down at 9 p.m. and then passing out from sheer exhaustion of the day for most immediately. Then at midnight, 3 a.m. and 6 a.m., you will wake up bleary-eyed and delirious to feed them. And those are the good nights. The bad nights have you falling slowly through time and space in 2 in the morning, wondering how an 8-pound baby isn't sleepier, and if you did something specifically to God to warrant this. After 3 hellish months, your baby can, quote, sleep through the night. Hooray! But what that means is they only wake up once at 2 a.m., except, of course, for a sleep regression, which is the small fine print of baby that will drive you over the edge. A sleep regression is when a baby who was sleeping just fine all of a sudden just suddenly forgets to sleep or what it is. Why? Well, the baby's brain is learning so much that whenever they've learned a new skill, and that skill could be turning over, or that mom doesn't disappear during peekaboo, their brain is so buzzed with the new knowledge that they can't sleep at night. These new sleepless nights can last weeks, and personally, I think it's a missed opportunity not to bring this up when trying to deter teenage pregnancy. There are thousands of rules for baby, all of which keep you in a constant state of anxiety and dread. They have to sleep on their back so they'll die. They can't have water before 6 months or their little kidneys could explode. They can't have honey until they're 1 or they could catch botulism. They can't sleep in their car seat or out of the car or in a bouncer or any slanted surface or they could suffocate. They have to be watched at all times in a bath because they can drown in an inch of water. They shouldn't be kissed near the mouth or a dormant case of herpes could travel to their brain and leave them incapacitated. They overheat very easily. When I was pregnant, I took a Zoom class about babies with a nurse that let me with this cute little rhyme. If they're cold, they cry. If they're hot, they die. And don't get me started on SIDS. Do babies even want to live? Babies are cute, I'll give them that. It's evolutionary. Prehistoric babies would have been a staple of the Smilodon diet if they weren't so damn adorable. My son, through his explosive diapers, penchant for biting my nipples, and the inability to take a nap in his damn crib, was heartwarmingly cute. And so I endured him in a 12-month-long marathon that probably added 15 years to my face and took 5 years off my life. The first year of your baby's life is like going through a haunted house. It's scary, and even if you enter the same time as your friend, you don't experience the same jump scares. When you exit the haunted house, a little frazzled and dazed, you see a line of people waiting for the haunted house. You want to warn them about the horrors of the haunted house, but you can't, not really. They have to go through the haunted house themselves. But what's even scarier is seeing people get back in line for the haunted house. Why, my friend? Are you really that much of a masochist? Is having loose teeth your sexual kink? Can a person really have that much disregard for their bones? So do I not miss my baby? So do I really not miss my baby? Yes. What have I not made fucking clear? Sure, sometimes I watch videos of him as a baby and I smile at his giggles when she finally fucking learned what great comedy looks like. And I remember fondly how cute he looked in footy pajamas. But I do not miss that baby, because he isn't gone. He's just a toddler. And while raising a toddler is like trying to My Fair Lady a Wolverine, at least he sleeps through the night. Thank you.